What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show.
Welcome to the MG Show. Wow. Welcome, Yeti, Shady. How you guys doing? We're running a little late, 12:07 on the East Coast. We couldn't figure out a title. My gosh, sometimes it's so hard to title these things. Shady, welcome.
Thank you guys so very much. Well, you know, it is what it is. The situation is fluid. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it really is. Discard. I mean, I'm trying to actually do the social post right now. Hang on one second. Let's get that up to over to X. Repost. Let's go put it in Telegram. So we're late, guys. Welcome, Shady. You want to say? How come my account can't do anything? Go ahead, Shady.
I'm not sure exactly why your account can't do anything, sir. I'm not the tech guy. I'm the fired up guy who is shot out of a cannon at 9 a.m. on the West Coast. I'd like to welcome all of you to the show today, and I would like to thank people for finally starting to realize that we live in a country where law and order should rule the day, not a country where the people that are out there that are attempting to threaten, maim, harass, or attack our law enforcement are the people that we're bowing down to. I'm hoping everybody is starting to see the dynamic here that the people like us, anyway, have been warning folks about for decades now, which is that there is a large contingent of infiltrators within the elected class of America that do not have your best interest at heart. As a matter of fact, they do not like America. They don't like the country in general, okay? So whenever you kind of piece this all together, you start to realize, wait a minute, why do the people that don't like the country end up being the people that are representing us? Why are they so damned determined to represent us? And the people that are good people don't seem to have any interest whatsoever in representing us. Isn't that a terrible dynamic that we have manifested here in America due to mal, and disinformation?
And I'm really kind of tired of the narrative saying, you don't support Second Amendment? Of course I support Second Amendment. I'm an absolutist when it comes to Second Amendment. However, I don't bring a gun to a protest, okay? I mean, it's very simple, guys. I don't interrupt ICE operations, okay? I don't do that. If I am encountered and I'm concealed carrying, I let the police officer know with my hands up that I have my concealed carry firearm here. You want to make sure you give it to me, okay, here, or whatever, they'll take it. That's how you do it, guys. You don't take, it's rolling the dice if you're running around. I'm trying to save somebody that was pushed on the ground, who was It was actually hurting the investigation. They were going after somebody that was harmful. They were going after criminals. They're only going after criminals, you dumb protesters. Okay. And now they have this ICE, watch, we exposed it yesterday. Jesse talked about it. Very good. We also possibly have this pretty guy in the signal messages, Shady.
Yeah, I saw that. And to your point, Jeff, let's just talk about this for a second, because I understand what you're saying. You're saying don't bring up a firearm to a protest. Understood. But is this really a protest? Let's just be honest about what the hell we're looking at. Is it a protest to be able to track down federal law enforcement and follow them? This is stalking. So effectively, what's going on is people are taking it upon themselves to stalk law enforcement while they're armed, and then decide to intercede in the operations that said law enforcement that they're stalking. This is nothing even close to a protest.
You know what, Shady? And they also stalk citizen journalists, Shady. Those are American citizens, so they're the ones stalking American citizens, Shady.
That's the perfect point, because that proves it's not a protest.
Oh.
How does that prove it's not a protest? Because the right to peacefully assemble is the right to redress your government of grievances. The right to peacefully assemble. Okay, think about that. A right to peacefully assemble says, I want media. The right to peacefully assemble says, I want media attention. I want as much attention as I can get from my cause, because I've got to find other people that want to get into or on a board with whatever my cause is, guys. The fact that they're attacking any media, doesn't matter, left wing, right wing, doesn't matter. The fact that they're attacking any media means they don't want media coverage, which means that this is absolutely not a protest, much less a peaceful assembly. That's the bottom line, guys. This is harassment of law enforcement, plain as day.
Yeah. You brought a gun to a COVID protest in Kentucky. The 3%ers were security and they open carried. Got it. But, we're not talking about a COVID protest. Okay.
That's right.
We're talking about people that are interfering with legal and lawful law enforcement operations, picking up strictly criminals. Okay. Not your neighbors. They're saying, oh, it's my They're not your neighbors. These are rapists. These are pedophiles. These are bad people. Murder. They're bad people. They're human traffickers. These are the arrests you've been waiting for, people.
And there's another good point that goes along with what you just said there, which is the idea that the people that are stalking them are not you said they're not their neighbors. The people that are the neighbors of the people that ICE is going after aren't part of this protest.
That's
the
right.
people that are protesting are from out of town. They're from other places. They're being called in mass by the organized Democrats to have them in the town that they're in. So it's not like ICE is going into Spring Valley, Minnesota, whatever the hell the little suburb is, and then the people of their houses are coming out to say, oh, we're trying to stop ICE. No, ICE is coming into that area, and these idiots are following them into the area and then getting out of their cars with their phones and their little tactics and trying to stop them from doing their work.
Kama says the so-called protesters are being used to hide the real criminal activity.
Ding!
What kind of mayor would have their citizens attack the law officers?
Exactly right. And that's exactly what they did. And this is what has turned on its head as of yesterday. And now when law and order comes back to town, then the people and the fraud is going to be the focus again.
So, ICE rioter, okay, Alex Pretty's final signal messages. Check this out. This is from the Oversight Project. We've obtained logs of a signal chat now marked leave chat, delete chat, where anti-ICE activists directed resources to the place where Alex Pretty was shot. We've ID'd the user Alvin Q, who may have been Pretty, and a new video. So this is right here at a friendship co-op. I'm moving west on 38. We'll update. And this is Alvin Q. Okay, how do we know that could be Alvin Q? How could that be Alvin Q be Alex Pretty? Oh, here it is. PRETO6@umn.edu. Alex Pretty. Creation date. Follower. Twitter. Look at Alvin Q. There he is. Okay. And then here is the video.
Yep.
Zach, you're naked. Yeah. So he's there. That could have been taken by him, guys. All right. So very interesting turn of events here. Alex Pretty was part of the anti-ICE signal chats that are harassing legal law enforcement operators and operations, Shady. Period.
Can you believe that we're even having this discussion right now?
Yes.
It's
because people are freaking like stupid, Shady.
But it's one thing to okay, I understand what you're saying, but it's one thing to be having the argument amongst our politicians, right? The argument is supposed to be amongst the politicians in their houses of Congress, whether it be local, state, or federal. Like, this is where the arguments are supposed to be about what the law is. Well, the law, believe it or not, I know you can't tell by what you're looking at, but the law has been decided. The law is decided. The American people decided what the law was going to be. They could have decided the law was going to be Kamala Harris, okay? But they decided the law was going to be Trump. And the law was going to be what he was saying, which was, we're going to get these people the hell out of here, and we're going to come in and get all of them. And I'm sorry. And I'm seeing this weak-kneed response, by the way, from Rand Paul and all these people that claim to be Republicans acting like, no, dude. And even Hannity last night said, oh, I don't think going to the Home Depot is good. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, baby. I'm too aggressive.
If they have information that an illegal alien is a criminal and he's at Home Depot, go there.
I don't care. Exactly right. I don't care. I honestly don't care if he's, But
the point is that what we're trying to say, Shady, is that they're going after the criminals only at this point.
That's exactly what they are saying. But the reality is that the people who are listen, is the person that hires the illegal immigrant a criminal?
I'm not going down that. I understand what you're saying.
I know, but I'm just explaining to you that everybody is acting like that they have this, like they're wearing their big heart on their sleeve and acting like they care more than anybody else. That's where the virtue signal comes from. And they're lighting everybody. They're trying to get everybody amped up so that they can move Congress to move against Nome or move Congress to move against Homan. That's what they're trying to amp up. And the Republicans are playing along with it. And I'm tired of it. I made the comment today that if these people were if these people were here to help us in 1776, they would be bugging out for the hills right now, just like now.
Now, also, Shady, I did hear our president say, if there are companies that are employing illegal aliens, we will have a talk with them, vet them, and provide the correct path. So people forget when President Trump says that.
I know they do.
Mm-hmm. So they're going after the criminals. This is the point that we need to have everybody understand. These people that are no longer, it's declared no longer a peaceful protest since last night. We're going to get into that. But these are not protests. These are witch hunts, Shady Grove, and they are protecting pedophiles and criminals, period.
I agree with you. And I feel like that he connected to those dots last night whenever he mentioned the meat packing companies. Because the reason that the meat packing companies are charging you what they're charging you is because they are currently housing illegal immigrants on their facility property.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're trying to manipulate the economies to make Trump look bad by keeping meat prices high. And Trump called it out yesterday.
Boom. Exactly. And Mitchell Goal G, I'll just say Mitchell Goal G on Twitter, or excuse me, on YouTube says Shady is right 100%. The people hiring them are wrong as well. Absolutely. But we do know that there are people that come here that are, helping out the economy. But I want them all gone too. But I have a feeling we're not going to see all of them gone, Shady. Some of the ones that are working, like in the meatpacking company or whatever, Trump said, we'll talk to you and we'll prioritize their legal way of getting in. Okay. But they have to do legal immigration, period.
But the thing is, we're not going to get to the point where we have just X amount if we don't intend on removing them all.
Yeah.
See, it's a negotiation, guys.
It is.
So it's like, okay.
Art of the deal.
The art of the deal. We got 30 million illegals. You get rid of 18 to 22 million of them, and maybe I can stand 5 or 6 staying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's a negotiation that I can get on board with. I'm not stuck anywhere. We were taught, Jeff, when we were young, we were taught compromise was the benefit of society. Like, you go into, you say, okay, I agree with you that my position is a little bit stuck, but I like this because of this. You're like that because of this, but could you give up this and me give up that? And we agreed to move forward. That's the beauty of this country. And these people that we're dealing with will never come to these conclusions. They will never make a deal with you. They see red. And when you see red, you're in a fight or flight response, and you're always going to attack.
That's right. And, we have Donald J. Trump having calls with Mayor Frey and Governor Walz. And those calls we have seen some fruit from those calls where they're going to get rid of Bovino in Minnesota. He's not leaving for good. He's just leaving Minnesota, and they're replacing him with Tom Homan. Tom Homan and Kristi Noem report directly to the president. They always have. Okay. It's not capitulating. It's the art of the deal. It's putting somebody else in because they wanted, that could have been part of the deal. We don't want Bovino in there. Okay. Bovino's not going to be in there. Now what? Here's Homan.
And I would like to just suggest that hopefully I'm not stepping in it too much here, but I don't think Bovino did a very good job with his first interaction. He mischaracterized a couple of things with the interaction, kind of being a little bit full head of steam. Yeah. I love a full head of steam, but you've got to take your full head of steam sometimes and dial it back and recognize the gravity of what's happening. And I feel like he was being a little bit, I think that's why they're having to pull him back. So yeah. I'm not against him.
I think you might be right, too. And I think you might be right in regards with Secretary Noem as well, right. Where she came out and said that this guy was a domestic terrorist where we don't have all the information. Everybody acts like they have all the information. They don't, up to and including the top guys. Right. There is going to be an investigation, and we'll hold our breath until then. However, the left also came out and called it wrong, too. So, we've got a battle of the narratives here, and it's Trump's vision that they must execute. And if they accidentally or inadvertently misrepresented President Trump's message, they will course correct. That's what happens. That's how you do it.
And would you agree with me if I were to say that if Donald Trump chooses to release or relieve or let anybody go or to quote unquote fire them, no matter what the situation is, I'm not standing with that person over Trump?
Right.
Like all these people, even last night, started oh, I stand with Bovino. What's Trump doing? Immediately, lighting your hair on fire.
They just want to go, whatever Trump does, these people are insane, aren't they?
I didn't vote for Kennedy. I didn't vote for Noem. I didn't vote for Homan. I voted for Donald Trump to put the cabinet together. And if he feels like a piece of the cabinet is getting slack or isn't doing the job or isn't up to the task, then he chooses to get rid of them. I'm going to support the guy I voted for.
You mean you didn't vote for General Flynn, Shady?
Is General Flynn in the room with you, man?
General Flynn enters chat. Yeah, I mean, he's acting like a Democrat. Pill. Yeah, General Blackpill is acting like a Democrat for sure right now. I won't really get into that today, but it doesn't matter. 36 seconds, okay.
Can we get a 47 in the chat for all the people that support Donald Trump? 47, yep. You're supporting Donald Trump and his administration. You're not going to get distracted and get addicted to a personality that's around Donald Trump or in his administration that says, oh, he has more gravity than Donald Trump. You can't take the moon of Pluto and say that it has the same gravity as Jupiter.
Yeah. So let's look at Tom Homan. He's a bulldog, Shady. And he's no nonsense, guys. Pure enforcement. And this is why Walz and Frey are folding, in my opinion. And they're not necessarily, they haven't folded yet, okay? But we're seeing some fruits of this call from President Trump on Frey and Walz. However, Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, just shredded MSDNC. Check this out. Holy moly.
I see on the show this morning you have Governor Healy talking about ICE doing enforcement operations at a church. Mm-hmm. False. Didn't happen.
They were parked there. They did not do an operation there. She said they were parked in a public space legally.
But to say that and to push that out there puts fear in the immigrant community.
So listen, he just said puts fear in the immigrant community. Okay? Isn't that interesting, Shady?
Yes, of course it does. Yes. Mm-hmm. Because that's what they're trying to do. That's how they're trying to incite people that aren't Americans, guys. You understand that, right? The media, they're trying to talk over the Americans' heads because, like I said, the Americans are still in their houses. They're not coming out to protect Juan. They're talking over their heads and talking to the minions and trying to activate the illegal operators. Remember, we tell you the illegals are part of the cartel, and the cartel is part of the criminal element, and the criminal element comes from other countries, and they do not want to leave. Should make sense to you.
Back to Tom Homan. Check it out.
Puts fear in the immigrant community. So let me tell you
to
what's
do
happening.
That puts fear in the community.
Right.
To park the ICE agent's vehicle
They're on a
near
public
a church.
street.
They
They're
are
on a public street.
She
They're on
said
a public
that,
street
sir.
waiting to respond to a criminal alien release pulled aside the road. Let me tell you, in the last couple of days, what's happened in Boston. They've arrested Victor Gomez Perez, a 33-year-old criminal alien from Guatemala, with charges of aggravated rape, assault and battery with dangerous weapon, indecent assault and battery on a victim 14 years or younger. They arrested Kaylee Espinosa, a 33-year-old criminal alien from Colombia, with charges of aggravated assault on a pregnant victim. They arrested Joshua Gonzalez, a 23-year-old criminal alien from Dominican Republic, with charges for trafficking heroin, morphine, opium, resisting police, disorderly conduct, and drug distribution. They also arrested Samuel Armando Barrero, a 20-year-old criminal illegal alien from Guatemala, pending charges for assault and battery on a child. So Mayor Wu and Governor Healy, they ought to be calling ICE and thanking them for making their streets safer, for protecting their communities and taking these people off the street. They've turned a blind eye to this. They're sanctuary cities. Sanctuaries, cities and sanctuary states are sanctuaries for criminals. Give ICE access to the jail to arrest a bad guy in the jail rather than have to go in the community to find them. Because when you go in the community and find them, it puts ICE officers at greater risk. It puts the community at greater risk. It puts the alien at greater risk because anything can happen on a street risk. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to prioritize public safety threats when you got governors and mayors who are releasing these public safety threats every day into the community. That causes the crime rate, and we've seen some terrible incidents in the last few days where innocent victims are murdered. This past year, I've seen innocent Americans raped and murdered by people who are not supposed to be here. So rather than going back and forth and say, well, ICE has got a car parked near a church, that is ridiculous. You're out there looking for people like this, exactly what they're doing.
Well, I would argue that actually that the ICE vehicle parked outside a Spanish mass is a frightening sight, given what has happened in this country. I also, with respect, sir, thank you for the information that you have shared. Why are they afraid of law enforcement? But we would appreciate.
Think about that. Like, okay, are you afraid of law enforcement? Do you have fear? Do you fear law enforcement? You like wake up when you go outside and you're like walking down the street and you see a cop. Are you afraid of that guy?
Nope.
Why?
Because I'm not breaking any laws.
Right. So people that would have fear because an ICE agent was sitting out next to a Spanish church would be afraid because
they're breaking laws.
Oh my God. It's just crazy trying to solve puzzles here on the MG show that the mainstream news can't solve.
You know why I wasn't shot by a ICE or Border Patrol person in Minnesota? Because my ass was at home.
Because you were acting peacefully at home. you were completely peacefully protesting at home.
That's right. All right, more here. Check it out.
Appreciate all of the information.
And I'm sorry for the, it looks like a 70s karate movie. Sorry about that, guys.
All of it. All of the data that you say you have.
I've done this show several times. Every time on your show, I speak with integrity, I speak with honesty, and I speak with facts. The bottom line is, because of all this false narrative, and you using the term disappearing people,
well,
is
that's
disgusting.
What's happened. That happened to the group that was sent to El Salvador.
U.S. citizens get arrested every day. U.S. citizens get arrested by police every day. Are they being disappeared? No, their laws are being enforced. They're being arrested. They're being put in detention because they committed a criminal offense.
Not like what you're doing.
Not even close. We're enforcing the law and arresting people here in violation of law that are public safety threats. That's not disappearing people. That's enforcing the laws of this country and making this country safer.
Public safety threats is what they're going after first. This should be a no-brainer, guys.
I'm going to tell you something that nobody's talking about. What happened yesterday? What happened with the decision? The court decision. Do you guys realize that there was the reason that all this stuff happened was a lower court decision came out a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago, 10 days ago, and said that ICE were not allowed to detain. They weren't allowed to pepper spray. They weren't allowed to interface with any people that weren't illegal immigrants. This is what this lower court decided. Yesterday, a higher court came in and said, oh no, bunch of FU. That's insanity. None of that is real. ICE has 100% authority to defend themselves. ICE has 100% authority to detain anyone that messes with them, and nobody has a right to interfere with with ICE on any level. And if they have a reasonable suspicion that anyone is doing so, then they can arrest them. That's why I think that the local law enforcement engaged last night with these people, because instead of the feds going in and getting these people, they figured they'd better go in and get their minions off the streets before the federal government gets them and starts interrogating them to figure out how they got there. That's my opinion.
It could be. It could be. Rev Rob, thank you for the gold tether for the Rumble wallet. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I saw another tip here as well. Thank you. All thank you so much. This is because I love you guys. $5 Rumble rant. Appreciate you.
We love you.
Yeah, we love you too. And, Dean Cain yesterday, Superman, Shady Groove, flew in to TMZ and spoke some truth. Check this out.
I thought this was very interesting. Thank you. And thanks to him for this.
Thanks, Dean Cain.
Yes.
Let's go to the moment where you see Preddy trying to help up those two women who were pushed down. The reaction was really severe. Forget about, I'm not even the shooting, but, pepper spraying him, hitting him in the head with a canister, punching him, taking him down and swarming him. Do you think that was appropriate force?
Well, that could be determined later by an investigation for sure. I don't know all of the events leading up to this moment. I do know that law enforcement, certainly ICE and Border Patrol, have been under a tremendous amount of pressure and attacks, and they're getting tremendous abuse from what I completely believe is a 100% organized opposition. Very, very, actually, pretty sophisticated, and I think we're going to uncover that as it goes on. And I think, unless you're there in the moment with the agents, it's hard to understand. But if someone is committing a felony, which would be obstructing law enforcement, ICE, federal agents from doing their job, impeding, obstructing, that's a felony. And perhaps they were just trying to take him down at that point in time. He certainly wasn't there just being a peaceful protester. And it was a very bad idea to engage physically with federal law enforcement while armed. He's standing between law enforcement officers and that woman. That's a mistake in its own right. And doing it while armed is a bad idea. I think once these signal chat things come out and the Department of Justice gets a chance to review the body cams of all of these agents who are probably wearing body cams, I think we'll have a much clearer picture.
A lot of them weren't.
Well, if one of them is, you're going to have a different angle that we haven't seen. And you're going to hear a lot of audio that we can't hear there. If he was instructed to get out of the road, if he was asked to move it to a different direction, or told or ordered to do so and didn't do so, you're starting to impede.
He was helping two women up who were not targets.
They were not being arrested.
They were not targets of the Border Patrol. They were not illegal aliens. There was no thought they were. In fact, the officers knew who they were because they were blowing whistles before. So they were merely people that they had pushed to the ground by trying to help somebody up. How is this impeding anything? I don't understand that.
Get away.
How many times had he had communication with law enforcement and officers before that moment? Why was he standing in the street? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Amen. Quit running the narrative, TMZ. You guys look foolish. They thought you would follow the stars. I like Dean Cain, though.
Yeah, I do too. And the reality of the situation is, what, if this is true and his name was in that signal chat, that takes the idea that he's some sort of concerned citizen out of the equation. So in a court of law, if they ever try to sue or try to do anything over the wrongful death, the state is going to be able to point to the fact that this person was part of a organization that is provoking, taunting, and going in to intentionally impede law enforcement activities. It doesn't matter if he was just there to help the women up, everyone, because his intent on being there was to do what it was that he was doing, which was impede law enforcement. And so he was interfacing with law enforcement. And then he didn't have the common sense to explain that I've got a firearm, or to stay away from the situation with a firearm. A firearm, okay, listen, this is not the Wild West. A firearm is not to go out and protect the neighborhood. A firearm is to protect your individual threat. If you're personally under threat, you have a firearm on, it's to protect you from a threat. It's not to go out and protect the whole community.
Right. And if this is true, if Alvin Q is in the signal chats, okay? Registered as this Alvin Q, full name Alex Pretty, Pretti, University of Minnesota. What's UMN, EDU? What is that? UMN. Is that where he worked? Is that the hospital?
I think that might have been the hospital, University Medical something. I'm
getting it. Twin Cities, University of Minnesota.
Mm.
So that could have been a hospital, that they
I think they were originally saying that he quit the job, but he actually didn't quit the job. He wasn't quit. So there's some discrepancies in the left's narratives also.
Yeah, and then here's his. Let me see. How come I can't? What's his Twitter page? Oh my God! Why do they put stuff in the middle? I mean, come on, Twitter, stop this crap. Alvin Q. Pretty. Let's look him up on X. Let's see if he's still here.
Oh, I
Alvin
doubt that.
Q. What's that?
I said I would say probably not. I mean, as fast as they get these people off.
Yeah. Let's see. Alvin.
That's just searching you. Oh yeah, there you go.
At ALV. I'm not used to Twitter. I've barely even done anything on Twitter before. Q. Q. Right?
So sorry, I tried to help.
I know you're good. I'm just teasing you. You're a second behind.
Alvin
Q. Pretty. There he is.
0.75 seconds.
There he is. 3 followers. Let's see. That's interesting, huh?
Is that the only picture? When is that posted?
2016. Let me see if there's any replies. Nope. Let's just look at Grok. Where's this picture taken from? Wow, guys, huh? Do a Google search on his email and something pops up. Yep. Grok is really slow.
He definitely seemed like he was very active. He's completely active in the other communities.
Yeah. Anyways, and he's on X. This is the feel the NURM. What's that?
Numb, like NUMB, like numbness.
NURM, NURM.
Oh, NURM. I don't know what NURM is.
Nuremberg? I mean, what is he doing?
Feel the NURM.
Yeah. So anyways, pretty interesting, guys. There he is filming. This is the video of him filming ICE officers. This is stalking, guys, and harassing. Okay. So there's a lot more to come out, folks.
Yeah, I think what Dean was saying, you don't know what the interaction was with this guy before, and effectively, we do not want any Americans to get hurt in any of these processes. But you do not have the right to throw your body in front of law enforcement and the person that they're trying to get, even if you think that the person that they're trying to get is like the greatest human being ever to walk on planet Earth. You do not have the right to get in between law enforcement trying to get them out of here.
But he was trying to help somebody that was being pepper sprayed, Shady.
I mean, then, obviously that you should not be there causing trouble for ICE.
You don't believe in the Second Amendment?
I don't believe that anybody has the right to interface with law enforcement in a struggle and have a firearm. No.
Imagine that.
That is precedent in many, many cases. We could sit here all day and go and point to them.
Yep. Let me go ahead and get off this ad real quick. Hang on. This is last night. Anti-ICE agitators. Let me just see if there's going to be an ad. Hang on.
It'll never be classified as self-defense if you try to shoot at law enforcement. Let me just say that again. It'll never be classified as self-defense if you're shooting at law enforcement in any regard. If they're coming into your house, whatever, like you could be in your house and law enforcement's trying to come into your house and you shoot at them from within your house as they're trying to come in your house, you are guilty of a homicide if you kill one. Yep. Attempted murder if you don't.
Yep. Check it out. This is last night. They thought Greg Bovino was here. These are state troopers from Minnesota. Local law enforcement, folks. Look at that. Wow. So this is the article right here. Anti-ICE agitators arrested in Minnesota. Jeez.
It jumped.
I cannot stand
ad jumped
Fox.
immediately. It's so bad, bro.
Anti-ICE. It is bad. Anti-ICE agitators arrested in Minnesota after police declare unlawful assembly. It is no longer peaceful. It's unlawful. They're anti-ICE agitators, and they're arrested in front of that hotel in Miami during a demonstration that police call unlawful assembly, not protected by the First Amendment. Period. Shady.
Very well said, sir.
Oh my God! Okay, so this is the call for that President Trump said today on Sid and Friends that he talked about. He had two very good talks. Check it out.
All right.
But I had two very good talks. I had Jacob Frey and I had Governor Walz, and I mean they were great calls. So let's see how they report it. But they were very nice calls, very respectful.
So is there a possibility, President Trump, of some type of compromise? I read that some of the Guard will be leaving the state of Minnesota, some type of compromise to, I guess, make those guys feel like they're in charge, even though, God help us.
Yeah, well, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think so. What we need is their criminals. You know, they have criminals, and all I said, just give us your criminals. And if you give us the criminals, it all goes away. They're there to pick up murders. I don't know if you saw, but it was a couple of days ago announced that crime is the lowest in the history of our country, the recorded history of our country.
Wow.
That's a big statement. That's because of us. That's because we go into cities and towns. Usually we're embraced. Sometimes we're not. Chicago is like pulling teeth with Pritzker and with the mayor of Chicago, low IQ person. And usually we're embraced, but sometimes we're not. And when we're not, it just makes it harder.
Yeah. You know, they're saying that it's the lowest since 1900s, Shady. Crime is the lowest since the 1900s.
Yeah, the murder rate
since early 1900s, guys.
And I'd like to. I think that this is a great correlation or a moment to just jump back in time to point at what "Make America Great Again" means. You know, "Make America Great Again" means that we're taking our country back to a time when law enforcement meant something. And we had the discussion yesterday about the idea of like they've eroded the respect for law enforcement and how much respect that there was for law enforcement whenever law enforcement was doing the right thing. But you know, how often has law enforcement been compromised over the years, and you see law enforcement doing the wrong thing, you know? And so local law enforcement is more subject to that, like law enforcement, like for instance, in LA, law enforcement in Illinois, law enforcement in New York is a lot more corrupt than law enforcement in small cities.
Yes.
That's just the truth. And so, you know, like all of these people like look at this corruption within law enforcement and they just see that as their only issue, when the reality of the situation is that part of that situation is systemic because of the other lawlessness that's going on. If everybody in the system is corrupt, then there is no way that anything in the system can be non-corrupt. Yeah. And what Donald Trump is trying to do is interject a portion of non-corrupt governance over our country.
That's right. So, you know, people that followed Q, these are the arrests, guys. This is what he was talking about, not Epstein. Okay. These are the arrests. This is how the corrupt Democrats run with these illegal aliens, with the child human trafficking. I mean, this is it, guys. And, you know, I think I want to take a second to thank Director Kash Patel, Shady. He actually came out and said, this is the 2025 in review, guys. You have never seen anything like this ever, Shady.
No. This is why we supported Donald Trump, because we wanted to see things that we had never seen before. And did any of us think that one thing that we would never seen before is the idea that the murder rate is lower than when there's like 10 human beings alive. No, there's no human beings alive from 1900. There's no, except for in Social Security. I'm sorry, there's a few people in Social Security that are still kicking it around.
Give you that one.
But outside of that, there's nobody around that saw
There's
murdering.
some 1800s too, Shady.
I know, it's true.
Augie Littlebear says, low crime sounds wonderful. Why wouldn't Americans want that?
We even had a guy, Jeff, that was on Social Security from before the Revolutionary War.
The Revolution. All right, so this is Director Kash Patel, 2025 year in review. He's done more in 1 year than anybody in years,
Ever.
8 years, 5 years, 10
Ever.
years. I mean, geez, ever.
It's a century, right?
Yeah, century. Wow.
I'm Kash Patel, the 9th Director of the FBI. In 2025, this FBI got back to basics by focusing on 4
Marker 9. Is he the 9th Director, Shady?
Yeah.
9. Marker 9. Wow.
priorities: crushing violent crime, defending the homeland, rebuilding public trust, and driving fierce organizational accountability. The result? A historic year of accomplishments for our country. On behalf of the entire Bureau, I'm proud to share the highlights of those accomplishments with you. In 2025, this FBI worked nonstop to make America safe again and crush violent crime. Thanks to relentless work through operations like Summer Heat, we took bad guys off the streets and as a result saw a historic 20% drop in the U.S. murder rate in 2025, 100% increase in violent crime arrests, and 197% increase in total arrests over the previous year. But that's not all. We disrupted 1,800 gangs and criminal enterprises, an amazing 210% increase. We seized more than 2,100 kilos of fentanyl, enough to kill 150 million Americans, a 31% increase. We located more than 6,000 child victims, shut down more than 3.8 million pedophile accounts on the dark web, and arrested 1,700 child predators, an almost 20% increase. We also captured 4 of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives in 2025, and in the first days of 2026, just captured our 5th. That's more captured in 1 year under this FBI than during the previous 4 years combined. Through it all, we built our relationships with local law enforcement all across the country, now coordinating with them more strongly than ever before. We developed our inaugural Law Enforcement Partner Engagement Council, directly investing in our partners and making them a part of this FBI. And this year, our partners who died in the line of duty decreased almost 20% from 2024. 1 is too many, so we've got more work to do, but we're trending in the right direction. In 2025, this FBI also worked 24/7 to protect the homeland. We secured America's secrets by making 35% more espionage arrests than in the previous year. That included a 43% increase in arrests related to Iran, a 20% increase in arrests related to Russia, and an outstanding 78% jump in arrests related to China. We also made more than 700 arrests of FBI terrorism subjects and successfully disrupted numerous terrorist attacks before they could take place, including an alleged terror plot linked to ISIS in Michigan, a plot to carry out a series of bombings in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve, planned attacks over the holidays in Charlotte, Philadelphia, Dallas, and more. We worked overtime fighting the heinous new threat of nihilistic violent extremist groups, increasing arrests over 490%, and arresting 20% more online criminals of the 764 network that targets our kids. And finally, we arrested the individual we believe was responsible for placing a pipe bomb at the DNC and RNC on January 6, 2021. In 2025, this FBI also continued its work defending our country from cyber attacks, achieving 173 arrests and 239 disruptions, keeping our infrastructure secure and staying ahead of our adversaries. The work of our International Operations Division led to a 40% increase in global extraditions or foreign transfers of custody, ensuring that the long arm of American justice reached bad actors wherever they were. Our Directorate of Intelligence translated 2.2 million pages of content to support investigations last year, a 130% increase over the year before. Another FBI priority in 2025 was rebuilding the public's trust in us. We ensured transparency for you, the American people, and for Congress, turning over more than 40,000 pages of documents, a 560% increase over 2024. We shifted resources to the field where they're needed the most, moving over 1,000 positions from the DC area back out across America to protect your communities. We also completed a top-to-bottom review of FBI spending and our facilities footprint. The result? $316 million in savings, $1.2 billion in contract ceiling savings, and tens of millions more savings by consolidating 78 facilities over the next 11 years. And after 2 decades of failed attempts to move FBI headquarters out of the crumbling Hoover building, we finally got it done. We scrapped the previous plan for a new building that wouldn't even open until 2036, opting to move to the existing Ronald Reagan building right here in DC. This decision will save nearly $5 billion taxpayer dollars and give our workforce a modern, safe, and superior headquarters location to meet our mission at a fraction of the cost to the taxpayer. Another benefit of rebuilding the public's trust is that more people want to join our team. In 2025, we saw a 112% increase in our special agent applications, and we hired more than 1,400 new employees. While 2025 was a year of historic achievement for the FBI, it won't stop there. In 2026, we'll keep getting after it to better serve and protect you, the American people. And one of our best highlights, thanks to the brilliant work of the Critical Incident Response Group, your hostage rescue team elements, Special Flight Operations Unit, pilots, support staff, and incredible partners, this FBI helped execute a righteous operation extracting Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife to the U.S. to face criminal charges. Thanks for your support of this incredible mission and for truly providing and delivering a historic 2025. This FBI can't wait to get after it in 2026.
Kash Patel, name to remember. Pretty amazing.
Didn't that make you feel good?
Yep.
That we made the right decision?
Yeah, we made the right decision. We followed Q. We realized that he was going to be important, and he just had a banner year for the FBI, and that is his name to remember. I mean, this is basically a Q proof now.
You know who didn't like what he said?
What?
Criminals. None of the criminals that are out there still running around the country that are being led by rogue factions of the military. Those criminals not happy. 3.8 million pedophile accounts removed from the dark web, controlled by the criminal element, not happy. The family, guys. So, it's very interesting that we're talking back to the 1900 day, Jeff, because the FBI, with the Bureau of Investigation, quote unquote, or the FBI predecessor, was created in 1908, actually, here. And I find this very interesting. You know how we're like little history buffs here. We like to know what's going on. Well, created in 19... So basically, we're saying that since the FBI was created, the American streets have never been safer. So it looks, if you look at that with just a little bit of an other way, you could say, wait a minute. The American people have never been as safe as they were since there was not an FBI. Think about that for a second. So what has the FBI been doing for this last 125 years? Well, let me tell you what they've been doing. They've been protecting the family, okay? The J. Edgar Hoover group. They've been protecting a certain segment of the population that thinks that they are, quote unquote, what was the term that Hillary likes to use, above the law.
Mm-hmm.
They have
no
been
one is above the law.
And you just mentioned the Q drops, because the Q drops exposed to us how the system of the FBI was protecting the family and working in cahoots with the CIA, rogue factions of the military, and InfoWars, all to generate a coup optic color revolution for J6 to paint you and smear you as violent, everyone. Right. So now look at how we're sorting this out. We're detangling it one piece at a time. And now we have an FBI that's doing the last thing in the world anybody that ever created the FBI wanted it to do, which is actually go after the cartels / criminal elements that are destroying our country from the inside out.
Yeah. Yeah. And all these ridiculous narratives, that we see, with Minnesota and the attacks against the FBI, everybody seems to think that they have all the information that the FBI doesn't. Let's talk about the pipe bomb, Shitty Groove. The pipe bomb. Steve King, USA, said, I have gate analysis in, whatever. And it sadly implicated the wrong person. Okay, whether you like it or not, they're wrong. The FBI has the information, has the files, and found the actual bomber. sometimes, if you believe in one thing and you can't, you don't have the fact. We don't have all the facts, Shady. People don't have all the facts to make a proper decision about what even happened with Pretty today.
Well, that's true, but and the point that you're making is just watching the people like Steve, the Baker USA, whatever guy, the gate analysis, like gaslighting. They're gaslighting everybody because they're saying that, that this is not the right guy. That they're using some autistic guy as a patsy. We've got the receipts. We literally, the pieces of pipe that he built the device out of. Mm-hmm. You can use. He had the receipts on his card. He charged it to his card. So it's not like this autistic guy was out there just happy to be the other dude in the region buying pipe bomb materials. He was the only dude in the region at the time buying those materials.
Wow.
I'm sorry, man. I try to bring a little bit of simplicity to the conversation so folks can understand life a little better.
I know. And that's why we don't agree with the what do you call it? The Kyle Seraphin, Steve King USA, The Blaze even walked back their story because it was bull.
It 100% was that. That we're sure of.
Yeah. So there you go. That was to respond to you, my friend Mike Irons. That's why I don't agree. And if you want to bring facts showing that person that they said, bought the same pipe bombings that we have there, I mean, by all means, do it. And then maybe, that person will be arrested. How about that?
Well, I went back after and looked at you can see that this is clearly not the person that they were analyzing. You could it's not the Capitol Police lady. That's a fact.
I wonder if it's Ivan Ranklin.
That's what I always thought.
I mean,
I was very disappointed to find out that it was some autistic guy from Northern Virginia. I thought it was a little troll, Ivan Ranklin.
And then everybody was mad that, Epstein was in fact arrested under President Donald Trump's administration and that he actually did unalive himself. And people were mad at that. I mean, once you have Dan Bongino said opposite when he was a podcaster. Now that he was assistant deputy director, he saw the facts and the files that you can't see and realized, oh my God, he unalived himself.
And the whole thing with the Epstein files, and whenever Donald Trump came out saying that it was a hoax, everybody hears what he says as a hoax and thinks what he's saying is that there's no such thing as Jeffrey Epstein. And they conflate what he says. What he's saying is these idiots acting like I have something to do with this guy or his files or the judge that the judge isn't sealing has nothing to do with me. It's a hoax.
Yeah. Well, again, guys, we're going after the criminals. These are the arrests you've been waiting for. This is how, the Somali fraud is being covered up by criminals, criminal illegal aliens that need to get out of our country so we can move on as a country. This is from Somalia in Minnesota. Sexual conduct, 4th degree, to a victim 13 to 15 years old. Are you supporting that? Assault with aggravated assault, non-family weapon, aggravated assault, weapon threat, terroristic state offenses. St. Paul, Minnesota. Meng Wang from Laos. Convicted of sexual assault in Moose Lake, Minnesota. Rene Hernandez, El Salvador. Mexico, in Minnesota. Gang affiliation, Serenos, okay? Assault and homicide. Yeah, let's protect them. Let's bang pots and pans for them, Shady Grove. What do you think?
They remind me of Ruprecht from the movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. You remember that movie where Stephen Martin, he was like they played this game like they were trying to swindle the ladies and they were pretend like he was like the brother who was retarded and he would he's like he's banging on his pots.
Banging on his pots and pans, Shady.
Yeah, and he had the fork with the cork on it, so he's sticking his eye.
Another one in Minnesota. These are all people in Minnesota, guys. Right
it's
here.
All Minnesota.
That's where we're at. And these are the arrests you're looking for. Yes, arrests will come with the other things. I see things that you don't see probably in the background. We see President Trump talking about the election fraud and people need to, be accountable for that. People need to be accountable for the spying on his campaign. People need to be accountable for other things. Be patient. We're only 1 year in, Shady.
I know we're only 1 year in, and you have to understand that some of these different things are going to last for a couple of years. Once the ball gets rolling on these people, then they're going to have delays and they're going to try to fight it in court and they're going to be all this, everything.
Yep.
Listen, this is the thing that I'd like to remind you of before we go out for the first hour. We're all innocent until proven guilty by a jury of our peers. Okay. Convicted. All of us, we're all innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
You're guilty. We'll be right back.
I'm not.
These
I am
beautiful little
innocent.
messages.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's at 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back in stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get our MyPillow bed sheets, only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings, regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. How about our My Towels? They're finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first time and the only time ever, get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
My Pillow is excited to announce they're having their biggest 3-in-1 sale ever, with a limited edition product, a back-in-stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. My Pillow bed sheets, only $29.88, any color, any style, any size, even kings. Regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. My Towels are finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first and only time, get their limited edition premium My Pillows made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queens, $17.98. Kings, only $19.98. Also, for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you will receive free shipping plus $100 in free digital gifts. So go to mypillow.com or call 800-873-0478 and use promo code MGSHOW. Use your promo code for the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
MG music in the house. Respect. Yo, Biden White House drama, cocaine in the West Wing. Secret Service confirmed it, but no one's taking the sting. July 2023 statement bag found, test positive. Investigation closed quick, no suspect, no justice. If that was Trump's crib, raids and headlines nonstop. But Biden's crew skates while the people's trust drops. Equal justice? Nah, it's a two-tier game. Protect elites playing us, all the same. Is enough. Equal justice under the law. No more passes for the swamp. Time to even the score. Training deep, MAGA strong, MAGA forever. Trump's fighting back, we'll win together. Enough is enough. No more hiding the truth. Globalists fall, patriots rise. That's the proof. Obama's vineyard estate, chef's body in the palm. Ruled accidental, drowning, case closed. Move along, but whisper network spinning, questions never cease. While Trump's every move gets the media beast. Pelosi home invasion, hoax rumors fly wild. Male prostitute tale debunked, but the damage piled. No evidence, pure fake, push to divide and distract. Fake news crickets when it's their side under attack. Is enough, equal justice under the law. No more passes for the swamp, time to even the score. Training deep, MAGA strong, MAGA forever. Trump's fighting back, we'll win together. Enough is enough. No more hiding the truth. Globalists fall, patriots rise. That's the proof. Clinton's private server emails classified. Cummings FBI called extremely careless, but she slides. July 2016 statement. No charges, no blame. While Trump's smart ally go gets raided and shamed. Documents drama, endless probes on one side. The other gets wings, free rides nationwide. Borders wide open, fentanyl flooding the streets. Heaven forbid we question powder in elite seats. Trump exposed the rot, fought the deep state machine. Globalists hate him cause he keeps America clean. Sovereignty, nationalism, borders locked tight. Traditional values, we're taking back the fight. Rose flips, CNN screaming 24/7 rage. But for the wrong, it's silence. Turn the page, wake up. Patriots, no more excuses or lies. MAGA restores justice under American skies. Enough is enough. Yeah, we say it loud. Equal justice for all. Make the republic proud. Drain the swamp. Trump leads the way. MAGA forever. Every single day.
Oh, enough is enough, Shady. That was the song I wanted to play on the outro after that post. I made a song about the post. Pretty cool, huh?
Absolutely pretty cool. Look at you go.
Suno.com and look for In the Matrix with 3 X's. Go over there. Check it out. Thank you, guys. We got the signal stuff, Shady, and I wanted to play a little bit, because it made Fox News. We reported it here on the MG show at 12 noon, and then Jesse comes and talks about it as well, Shady. He did a pretty good job. Did you see it by any chance?
I saw the last little bit of it. I did not see the whole thing, but it was really interesting to see the way that the press yesterday in the press conference were strikingly uncurious about the particulars of this situation.
Yeah, and now we actually possibly in hour number 1, we showed you that Alex Pretty could have been in those signal messages, guys. That's a boom if I've ever seen one myself, Shady.
It is, because it indicates that this was not just a person that got caught up in a situation. This is a person that literally should never have been there and was there because he intended
to harass.
He wanted to harass ICE agents, and he thought he was being, Cowboy John.
Yeah. Wow. Alex Pretty broke a rib in confrontation with federal agents a week before he was fatally shot, Shady.
So again, we have another a previous interaction.
Wow.
Which means,
that doesn't look good in a real court case, Shady Groove.
Well, from what I understand, you get paid a lot more protesting than you do being a nurse. You see, so your priorities get flip-flopped whenever you're getting more money.
Was he the nurse with the dirty knees?
I am not going to elaborate on that, sir.
The head nurse?
I'm not.
All right, let's go to Jesse.
On that question.
What did I say last week, Shady Groove? What was that word?
You said kabuki.
I said it wrong, though. Oh, boy. Here we go. Check it out.
Uh-oh.
Tim Walz finally picked up the phone. He spoke to President Trump. Governor Tim Walz called me with the request to work together with respect to Minnesota. It was a very good call, and we actually seem to be on a similar wavelength. Walz, a lame duck, under investigation over Somali fraud and under intense pressure from the Minnesota business community. He can't afford to have George Floyd-style riots again. The president hopes he and Walz can work together.
It is President Trump's hope and wish and demand for the resistance and chaos to end today. That's why President Trump spoke with Governor Walz directly this morning, and he has outlined a clear and simple path to restoring law and order in Minnesota. We hope Governor Walz will do the right thing.
The president is shaking up personnel, dispatching border czar Tom Homan to Minneapolis and Chief of Border Patrol Greg Bavino, who had been providing backup to ICE, will be going back to the border. The administration is looking for calm and cooperation after a deadly altercation Saturday. ICE was zeroing in on a foreign fugitive from Ecuador, wanted for domestic assault, when anti-ICE agitators pinned agents down in a narrow street. Border Patrol was attempting to remove the mob when a guy with a concealed gun physically confronted Border Patrol and resisted arrest. Viewer warning, this is graphic.
Get the people! The is wrong with you? Honestly!
The shooting's now under investigation, and body cameras are being reviewed. When Alex Preddy approached the agents, he was packing a fully loaded 6-hour 9mm handgun with 2 full mags. He did have a concealed carry permit. Reports say he did not have an ID on him, and we don't know whether he alerted officers that he was carrying, which is what everybody with a concealed carry permit is instructed to do when encountered by law enforcement. Resisting arrest with a loaded gun is incredibly dangerous. Video of the shooting shows agents yelling "gun, gun, gun" during the struggle. One video is believed to show an agent removing Alex Preddy's weapon before the shooting, but it's still unclear. DHS is investigating whether Alex Preddy's gun may have accidentally discharged. This particular pistol has a history of accidental misfires that may have triggered Border Patrol to defend themselves with deadly force. It's a very loud, violent, and chaotic scene. And these are the types of things that happen, unfortunately and sadly, when you bring a loaded gun to a dangerous immigration raid, confront agents, and resist arrest. We wish it hadn't come to this. Lawyers will be determining whether the shooting was justified, but the Minneapolis police chief doesn't care.
Even if there is an investigation that ultimately proves that at the time of the shooting it was legally justified, I don't think that even matters at this point, because there is so much outrage and concern around what is happening in the city. People have had enough.
Immediately after the shooting, anti-ICE activists descended onto the scene and made mayhem.
Go! Hey!
Some protesters seem to have a death wish. Watch.
The kid, shoot us in the face! Shoot me in the head! Why don't you shoot me in the head? You cowards! You're cowards! I'm right here! Kill me!
These aren't your run-of-the-mill, mostly peaceful protesters. One of them bit an immigration agent's finger off, like a cannibal. And last night, broke into the hotel where agents were sleeping.
Demons.
Hey, can you pause it real quick? I'd just like to jump in here before this kind of escalates. I saw a little other pieces of this, but I'm going to I just want to talk to the audience a little bit about what we just witnessed right there, and the person that's standing there screaming, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me, trying to self-suicide per ICE law enforcement. This is a tactic that they're going to start implementing across the board. And part of what we're experiencing in society that is faltering is the idea that life has meaning. Every life is important. Every single individual life is important, and it is important up until the point where the person that is living that life deems it non-valuable. And what communism does, and what this archaic mindset that they train people with in colleges and on campuses and around the country and in this cultish behavior, it teaches everyone that you're nothing. And it's really hard for us, people that believe in God, that believe in Jesus, and that understand the way of the light. And it's hard for us to see this, and it's part of the reason I'm bringing it up. The level of the distance someone has gone away from who they were whenever they were born to get there is unbelievable, and it's really hard to get your mind around, to put yourself in that situation. But when you do, what you realize is that these people, they have nothing to live for. The idea of the country was to give everybody something to live for. If you gave everybody something to live for, in other words, you give everybody an opportunity, 96 to 98% of the people are going to take advantage of that opportunity. And if they have abundance, then all of a sudden that they have something to live for, then you have you're not just living today and tomorrow. Your mind is predicting out your path. Oh, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a veterinarian. I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to be a librarian. I'm going to go into the military service. All these different things are your life playing out in front of you. But so take away that for a second and imagine yourself in the middle of a life that is ready to be gone, that is ready to end itself, that has no desire to live. It has because it doesn't believe it has value. You have to realize that the core of what communism is doing is eroding the individual's ability to discern that the individual itself that it's experiencing and witnessing has value. And once you take that away, once you convince the mind that the soul has no value, that's inverted. Because it's your soul that convinces you that your mind has value. It's your soul that convinces you that your life has value. It's your soul that convinces you that the world around you and the other people that are in the world around you are reflections of you. If you have a problem with other people, a lot of the times the problem is you. You don't really have a problem with that person. You have a problem seeing within that person something that you don't like about yourself. And that's the beauty of the dynamic that each of us are living here and experiencing. And so I just wanted to jump in there and say that how sad it is that we're living amongst a very large contingent of society that have been taught that they have no value, and they somehow believed it.
My life has value.
I'm not going to take it anymore.
That's right. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Remember that movie, guys?
Yep.
Your life has value. Okay. But, the repression that, we've been foisted under with this Democrat socialism, you can just call it communism, Shady, can't we?
Yeah, that's what I call it.
And that's what these people believe. They've been mind controlled to think that suicide, unaliving by a police law enforcement, it is sad, isn't it?
And Jeff, just to pile on top of that, right now they've just come up with, in Canada, they're euthanizing people. You can self-euthanize in Canada now. And so now they've just come out with 2 weeks ago, they just came out and now they've got pods. So you can go in with your mate. The two of you can go into the euthanized chamber together. You can choose to end your life in Canada and you can do it with someone else. Okay. This is what they want. This is the reason that I'm talking the way that I do about the extinctionists and the humanists. You are either a person, no communist is a humanist. Every communist is an extinctionist. Every socialist is an extinctionist. They think that you shouldn't exist. They think that you breathing the air is somehow a problem to society.
And I call them the extinctionists death cult as well. That's where we are.
That's exactly because they love death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they love it. They love it. And I like life. I love life, Shady Group.
And it's ingrained in our society in ways that you might not even understand, like horror movies.
Yeah.
I stopped watching horror movies whenever I was 20 years old. I haven't seen a single one of them. I quit watching that mess because they're trying to convince you that nobody's life has value. It's the same thing with the movies like 24 or shows like 24, different cop movies where they say nobody has any rights because we got to get to the information.
Yeah.
Everything is to erode our value of our system.
LGE Mag says, you're much kinder than me, Mr. Groove.
Well, thank you for that.
Here we go. Let's go back to this because this, crazy. Here we go.
The Minneapolis mob is now pulling a Chaz and barricading themselves with dumpsters into no-go zones. The governor, who has not made any effort to chill out his citizens, told them to choose a side like it was the Civil War.
What side do you want to be on? The side of an all-powerful federal government that can kill, injure, menace, and kidnap its citizens off the streets? Or on the side of a nurse at the VA hospital who died bearing witness to such government? Or the side of a mother whose last words were, "I'm not mad at you"?
Walz even framed immigration police as Nazis. Listen.
We have got children in Minnesota hiding in their houses, afraid to go outside. Many of us grew up reading that story of Anne Frank. Somebody's going to write that children's story about Minnesota. And there's one person who can end this now.
The Holocaust Museum told Walz.
And that's you, Governor Walz.
That was like a threat. He's like basically saying, like, you stop trying to enforce the law and we'll go back to being criminals in peace.
That's right.
That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
It's a threat.
And stop exploiting the genocide. Illegal aliens aren't Jews. The governor needs some accountability. He's been in open rebellion against the federal government for over a month. He's called immigration police Nazis, Gestapo, told his base to get in their face and to kick him out of the state. He's activated a Minnesota insurgency. Agents have been rammed with cars, kicked, punched, spit on, trapped. Their cars have been looted, and ice balls and fireworks have been hurled at their heads. They've stormed into churches and injured and doxxed dozens of officers. This insurgency is more sophisticated than you think, and it relies on a supportive local population.
Definitely does feel organized to me, and I think you can tell these people are well connected. They are in communication with each other, and they are giving them instructions. This happened all so quickly. People knew where to go, and they are taking commands. This is an organized movement here. There's communication, there's food, there's notices, there's notifications. They got out here in a hurry, and they outnumber this police force probably by about 10 to 1 at this point.
These people are giving aid and comfort to foreign criminals. They're aiding and abetting foreign nationals escaping from justice. They're on encrypted messaging apps, sending each other specific coordinates all day and night. And like jihadists, their leaders don't care if they die. Independent journalist Cam Higbee obtained a video of orders being sent out. Watch this.
The person that just asked for a plate check a minute ago that said 218.
Yeah, it's a white Chevy truck, pickup truck.
Thank you. If you can get documentation, video, or photos of that plate on that car, we can document. Thank you.
Moments before Alex Preddy was shot, this underground resistance was calling in for backup, documenting plates and vehicles. Alex Preddy appears to be a member of this Minnesota ICE Watch. The group's mission is to swarm immigration police and prevent them from arresting dangerous Biden migrants, blocking them in with cars and physically interfering in arrests and crowd control. This movement is lethal to the country and also suicidal. You wouldn't do this with FBI agents or marshals or the NYPD. The consequences would be deadly. Renee Good and Alex Preddy would be alive if Minnesota would stop attacking the Trump administration for doing what voters put them in to do.
Nobody in the White House, including President Trump, wants to see people getting hurt or killed in America's streets. This tragedy occurred as a result of a deliberate and hostile resistance by Democrat leaders in Minnesota. Obstructing federal law enforcement and inciting violence against officers is wrong and illegal.
What's happening in Minnesota isn't happening anywhere else. Texas, Florida, Georgia, Arizona, Missouri, they're all cooperating with the feds. Local law enforcement's detaining bad hombres, and the feds are scooping them up and sending them home. Even raids in other states are conducted in coordination with the locals, who provide crowd control and backup and intel. It's just in Minneapolis and a little bit in Portland, Chicago, and LA, where there's violent resistance. All sanctuary cities. But Keith Ellison's saying they're behaving.
ICE needs to do its job.
that it is paid to do. We're asking ICE to do its job as we do ours. Nobody in Minnesota is interfering with them.
That's a lie. Only Minnesota state prisons hand over criminal aliens, and that's only after they're convicted and serve sentences. City and county jails don't cooperate at all. They're just releasing criminal aliens back out onto the streets, and it forces ICE to do these dangerous manhunts without backup. So they have to bring in Border Patrol for backup. And Border Patrol doesn't usually work cities. They work deserts. Look at this poll from over the summer. Majority of the country, 65% actually, are against sanctuary cities. 70% of the country says the locals should be cooperating with ICE. This isn't even a partisan issue. Just a small minority who are sacrificing lives to keep criminal aliens in their cities. These blue city streets are mobilizing like it's war.
I'm Kyle. I'm Antifa. I understand that the women who see this are really scared that their husbands are going to go and not come back, and that's real. We can't end this without good men in the streets, armed and ready to protect innocent people from being gunned down by these masked murderers, these fascist occupiers. I need boots on the ground, and I need them prepared to do what needs to be done.
There are hundreds of American citizens, thousands, threatening to kill ICE agents. This is on top of the cartels that have a bounty on their heads. Some of them are acting like kamikazes, like it's suicide by ICE.
Hey, so they're going to kill us anyway, so I think maybe we should just mob them. If you comply, they're going to shoot you. If you try to leave, they're going to shoot you. Mob them. Like that. Like full American Revolution, like hiding in trees. I don't know.
The federal government has sole authority to enforce immigration law all over the country. That's not me saying it, it's the Supreme Court. And these Democrats are inciting mobs to violently resist the federal government. This is what happened during the Civil War. But it's not even half the country, it's just a small faction of hardcore militants, ICE mommies, BLMers, communists, trans radicals, and Antifa who want open borders, the obliteration of capitalism, and the complete overthrow of the Trump administration. These are the people who cheered when Charlie was shot. They hate white men, cops, and are bent on destroying Western civilization. Unchecked migration destroys civilization. Look at Europe. That continent's on its deathbed. They're using mass migration as a weapon to destroy this country. It's why the left wants to abolish ICE. Once Biden let them invade, they boost the census numbers and give Democrats more electoral votes and congressional seats. Mass deportations take that away. That's why they're literally biting off the fingers of ICE agents to try to stop it. And the more offspring they have, the more votes Democrats get. And the more migrants, the more welfare. And that powers the Democrat nonprofit industry that kicks back cash to the politicians' coffers. We caught them dead to rights in Minneapolis with the Somali fraud ring. Walz and his insurgency, they need to cooperate before more people get killed. ICE also has to change tactics. ICE has been in Minneapolis for 6 weeks with barely any backup, and they're way too visible. Folks are crossing state lines to confront them, and now these agitators are coming armed to the teeth. ICE agents are sitting ducks in that city, and like any good boxer knows, you got to stick and move. You can't stand in the middle of the ring forever. All this manpower dedicated to Minneapolis, and we've gotten 3,000 bad hombres out of there in 6 weeks. That's good. 10,000 since last January. That's good. Force a deal with Walz to get cooperation. Force them out with cash if you have to get these known fugitives out cleanly. And then move on to Denver, San Fran, Detroit, wherever you have to go. But don't announce that ICE is coming to town. Be stealthy. You can always go back to Minneapolis when Walz leaves office, which is soon. You can go back there for 3 straight years until every single migrant is out. But we're running the ball down the middle every single play. How about a little play action? Now, if you're going to be dealing with an insurgency like this in Minneapolis, you got to bring in a task force. I'm talking marshals, Treasury, Homeland. You arrest everyone obstructing, and then you follow the money and make arrests. If you have a targeted operation on a city street, you cordon the block off so the mob can't get close and trap and harass and hurt you. It's safer for you, and it's safer for them. But the president can't be run out of town. That'll tell every sanctuary city that attacks on ICE agents will force them into retreat. And then you have a confederacy of sanctuary states that are black holes of crime and migrants. And that'll sink the country. And that's what they want. The president looks like he's finessing this and fulfilling the mandate. The president's already achieved record low illegal immigration and record low crime. Minneapolis can't slow him down.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't want to leave Minneapolis, sorry, but, that's the only thing I don't agree with. But I understand what he's saying, but forcing a deal with Walz, it looks like that's what's happening. And Homan's going in there. So we did do a little bit of a change up. We did put in a new quarterback. We took out, Bovino and put in Homan. And Homan has relationships there. It looks like because of the the Home 2 Suites or whatever, last night that the state police came out and helped get rid of the agitators. This is a good start, guys.
It is a good start. And the reality of the situation is, like I said earlier, I think it has more to do with them protecting the integrity of their little group of army, Antifa that play army in the streets that they're engineering and controlling through these apps. They don't want they don't want the feds to get a hold of a number of this. And so they were being pretty aggressive. It was interesting to see the look on the faces of the protesters whenever the police actually started to come to arrest them. They were not thinking that banging on their pots was a problem until then.
Yeah. And by the way, it's Tim Walz's jails released 470 criminal aliens. Check this out.
My understanding is he's being a little bit misleading here, or a lot misleading, by saying that those 1,360 criminal legal aliens are not sitting in the county and city jails, which is exactly where they are. We know that last year, under Walz's leadership, that those city and county jails released 470 criminal legal aliens. So again, what the president, what Secretary Noem have been asking for is that level of cooperation before they release a criminal legal alien onto the streets, to give us notification so that we can come and pick them up and they're not going back onto the street to re-perpetuate crimes against Americans. And secondly, when we are seeing rioters, we're seeing things spiral out of control, assaults, obstruction of law enforcement, which is a federal crime, as we've mentioned before, that those state and local governments and law enforcement are allowed to answer our calls for backup so no one gets hurt. My understanding is he's being a little bit misleading here, or a lot.
So, he's lying, misleading, but, it looks like, we're getting things done over there. Let's see what happens, Shady.
Well, I think I know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is the people that have been committing billions and billions of dollars worth of fraud are going to get caught. And no matter how many people they try to activate and pretend like, they throw them in front of ICE and say, oh, we're standing here defending ICE. No, you're not. What you're doing is you're committing billions and billions of dollars in fraud. And now you're trying to convince the American people to go out and run interference for you.
Yeah. Trump is heading off into the great state of Iowa, but he took some questions. Let me see if I can find that. There are rumors that they're trying to, President Trump is going to ask Kristi Noem to step down. The answer was no. Okay. I mean, all these fake narratives, guys.
But isn't it interesting? Look at what happens. They all start to what happens is they start to watch the mainstream media, and then they start believing every single thing that the mainstream media is saying. Then they hyperventilate, and they're like, oh, maybe the mainstream media's got a point. And then the next thing you know, they're writing stories like, oh, Donald Trump is going to fix this by getting rid of his one of his cabinet members. A year ago, it was Dan Bongino. Then it was Kash Patel. Then it was Pam Bondi. Now it's Kristi Noem. Next week, it'll be RFK Jr., they just literally can make anything up that they want to make up. You have to realize that.
Yeah. Let's check this out. President Trump departure. Let me go to actually when he comes out. Hang on one second.
You see him today?
Yeah. Where is he?
He's going to be a rally he's doing tonight, right?
Yeah, Iowa. Oh, they don't have his questions here. Oh, so
Well, that's sus. He must have said something they didn't like.
Oh boy.
You know,
White House,
that's kind of what always happens. He comes out.
Basically no crime. You know, Washington is a great example, but
Okay, I got it, but I can't rewind.
Be kind.
Be kind, rewind. He's live right now.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
We can start from where we're at and then backtrack later, maybe.
Let me see if this is it here. Let's try this.
we've got.
Yes, I can go back. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know. First board.
Okay, here we go. Hang on. It's we do this live, guys. Okay, here we go.
I want to see the investigation. I'm going to be watching over it. I want to very honor.
All right, so he's talking about the investigation, guys. Here we go. The heck? There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn it up a little bit.
Turn it up to 11, man.
Had a great conversation with the highly respected president of Syria and all of the things having to do with Syria and that area working out very, very well. So we're very happy about it. Tom Homan, as you know, is in Minnesota now. He's meeting with the governor and he's meeting with the mayor, I think, later. And I hear that's all going very well also. I'm going to Iowa. Some of you are coming with me, but I'm going to Iowa. And what can I say? The economy is good. It's all good. Prices are coming way down. And we have a lot of very positive news.
Do you believe that Alex Putty's death was justified?
Well, you know, we're doing a big investigation. I want to see the investigation. I'm going to be watching over it. I want a very honorable and honest investigation. I have to see it myself.
Is Kristi Noem going to step down?
No.
Is Kristi Noem going to step down? No.
that seemed pretty matter of fact. That didn't sound like, oh, Donald Trump had a long sit down with Corey Lewandowski and Kristi Noem. Told them they better get their stuff straight. That's the news story that's coming out. It doesn't sound like that at all.
No, it didn't, did it?
No, it sounds like we were standing by our man.
Mm-hmm.
Women.
The president of Syria, the president of Venezuela said that he has not taking orders from you. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I don't know exactly what's going on there, but I haven't heard that at all. No, we have a very good relationship.
What about
I'd like to see interest rates go down. Everything else is going down. We have the energy and fuel going down. We have gasoline in many states now at $1.99. Groceries are going down. We inherited a mess with very, very high prices, very, very high prices. And I will tell you, we've made a lot of progress. So we have the groceries going down. We have the energy going down. We have gasoline going down at a record clip. And that's what I want to do. We're doing well. Well, I'm looking at that whole situation. I love everybody. I love all of our people. I love his family. And it's a very sad situation. Yeah, please. I have, yeah. I think she's doing a very good job. The border is totally secure. You know, you forget. We had a border that I inherited where millions of people were coming through. Now we have a border where no one is coming through. They come into our country only legally. So you have to remember those things. You know, people forget as soon as you accomplish something, it goes into history and nobody ever wants to talk about it. We had a border that caused all of this problem. Biden caused, and the Democrats caused this problem. They allowed tens of millions of people to come in. Many of them were murderers. Many were drug dealers, drug addicts, people from mental institutions. They allowed these people to violate our country, to come into our country. And that's what we're talking about. So if you remember, we had a horrible border, the worst border we've ever had, ever in history. People were flowing through by, we think, 25 million people, not to mention drugs and everything else. And that border is absolutely closed.
Mr.
So well, prices are coming down. The border is really strong. You know, if you remember, I probably got elected more than anything else on the border. We had a border that was open with 25 million people coming through with an open border policy, which was insane. And that's the policy that caused the problems that we have. With all of that being said, other than, I would say, just to put it accurately, Minnesota, and in particular Minneapolis, because it's not all of Minnesota, every city that we've gone to has been, like, literally crime has gone down 50, 60, 70, 80. In Washington, it's gone down. There's practically no crime. You know, Washington is a great example, but you take a look at other cities, Memphis, Tennessee, the crime is down 78%. And you know where else it's down? It's down in Minnesota. It's down in Minneapolis, and it's down very much because of the fact that we're there. So we can't lose sight of the fact that we have to take murderers and drug lords and people from mental institutions that were dumped into our country through open borders of the Democrats, of Biden, and we're doing a great job. The other thing is Tom Homan is there right now. He's with the governor and he's with the mayor, and I hear things are going very nice.
Your meeting with President Budapest back in Frey.
We're looking at some very good things happening on Ukraine and Russia.
Mr. President,
very good things are happening on Ukraine and
on the border of Gaza, Mr. President. Where do we stand on Gaza, Mr. President?
Everything's going very well. As you know, we got the last hostage down the body of the hostage. A lot of people thought that was impossible. We got all of the hostages back, both living and dead. And I can tell you, your parents can really appreciate it.
What about the airport out
Said, you know, you can't have guns. You can't walk in with guns. You can't walk in with guns. You can't do that. So, it's just a very unfortunate
All right. Wow, Shady.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
They're hot under the collar.
Yeah, they are. And they should be.
Yeah, they absolutely should be, because everybody is getting ready to see, you know, the historic next 6 months. Yeah. The next 6 months are going to be absolutely historic. Not only are you going to see improvements in the economy and all of the foreign policy, but you're getting ready to see Donald Trump go out and talk to people and explain to people exactly how it is that we are winning. The things that the media won't say, Donald Trump is getting ready to go in front of the American people and tell them what's going on. And the next year is going to absolutely parallel, like train track parallel, what occurs and what he says, as opposed to like one-to-one. Everybody's used to like hearing the media say something and then not really seeing what the media is saying. Donald Trump is going to say things, and you're going to see exactly what it is he's saying right directly in front of you, and you're going to have to make up a fantasy world to ignore it.
Wow. Gee, wow. I want to report on this healthcare worker at VCU Health, Shady Grove in Virginia.
Yep.
This is, let me just go. This is Melinda. You're going to meet her in a second, but she's a healthcare worker at VCU Health. She posted a series of videos encouraging people to inject ICE agents with succinylocholine. I don't know what the heck that is. SUCCINYLOCHOLINE. It's a temporary paralysis drug, and then spray poison on them, and also encourages women to go on dates with the agents and drug their food. Check this out. Insane.
I thought of something good. I think it's stuff in the weird spot. Sabotage tactic, or at least scare tactic. All the medical providers, grab some syringes with needles on the end. Have them full of saline, succinylcholine, whatever. That will probably be a deterrent. Be safe. Okay, for today's resistance tip, I vote, anybody got any poison ivy, poison oak in their yard? Get some of that up with gloves, obviously. Get it in some water, like a gallon of water. Get the poison ivy oak water, and I'm gonna put it into a water gun. Aim for.
Wow. All right, so this video is a bunch of videos, but the first one is the most important, talking about injecting ICE agents with, let me just see if I can say it right, succinylcholine. Succinylcholine. Whew. Say that 10 times fast. And by the way, she's at VCU Health, and it looks like people are, they're deleting their comments, Shady Groove. They're asking about the nurse, right? And let me just double check.
They get all amped up in the comments thinking that they had bunches of good ideas, and now they're starting to realize, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Again, got caught up into threatening to harm other people.
Wow, Shady.
Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're willing to do. This is the point that I'm trying to make. The people that are like that person, the people that are like, the mentally like that person, are the people that scream and yell at you that they know life better than you do. They are your moral higher up.
Yeah. Here it is right here, Shady Groove. They deleted a post right here. Duke Health is now deleting posts where users were asking if this nurse who called to poison or drug ICE agents works for them. I wonder what they're hiding. Does this woman work for you? She has an address listed on her NPI. She's calling to poison and drug ICE agents. And then they deleted their post, Shady. And that's this lady right here.
We got it.
Wow.
We got you.
Wow. And don't forget, you had the governor. Who was it? The governor of... who was it? The governor of Virginia calling for the death of MAGA people, Shady? Gilbert? Attorney General. Yeah, Attorney General of Virginia threatening to kill Republicans.
No, I did not see that yet. I know that
remember, it was Gilbert. You remember this? It was.
Oh yeah. Okay, yep. Yeah, I do remember this. Yep.
Yeah, this is a while ago, and these people are insane, Shady.
Well, now we've got the Spainberger, the ex-CIA intel officer that has just became governor of the state of Virginia, and you should see the laundry list of numbnuttery she's proposing.
Yeah. Wow.
You guys in Virginia are getting ready to go from like paying $1.99 or $2 in gas. She's getting ready to put like 100% tax on you. It's going to be $4 a gallon in Virginia soon.
Wow.
I mean, these people, I think that we need them. The Seattle mayor is another one. Like, I think that we need these people because obviously people didn't get the memo of watching Joe Biden flail around for 4 years and the media completely cover up for him. They didn't see it. And so they come out and they, somehow they're still able to get this lady elected in Virginia.
Right. I want to go over this real quick. This is Libs of TikTok, and she basically found the Scott County Rapid Response Training Manual, guys, anti-ICE training manual. So this is it right here. This is page 1, RR County Scott Ice Watch, daily Scott County Ice Watch, dispatch patrols, sightings actively happening in Scott County only. Anyone can join calls if you're running errands, communicating. The more eyes, the more coverage, right? Going on to the next page right here, it's whistles. You got to have your whistles. You have confirmation that it's ICE. There are 2 or more individuals at that account encountered ICE. Here, quick stand your ground. Quick staccato sound. You can shout "La Migra," ICE in Spanish. Honk your horn. Make as much noise as possible. You want all the possible victims to avoid the area. ICE hates the show we put on. Of course they do. It's ridiculous. This is Be Safe, winter clothing, binoculars, whistles, know your right cards, somebody's numbers, I don't know, but, I wish they wouldn't put this thing here. I mean, but, you got it. I got it. Okay, I got it. Libs of TikTok. But make sure you know that your area or you are patrolling. I mean, look at this, guys. Follow dispatch. Follow them. Scott County Daily Rapid Response. Tip line. Who to contact. Oh, Monarca. MONARCA. Monarca must be a legal fund, and the ACL Attorney General after. That's who they want you to contact.
They're not following. Okay, following sounds just so like normal. It's not following. They're stalking. Right.
Yeah. ICE encounter. What to do if ICE approaches your vehicle? Do not open your doors or do not open your windows. You have the legal right to follow ICE agents. You cannot obstruct. Okay. Right. So they obstruct and then they get pew-pewed. I mean, this is what's, this.
You don't really have a right to follow any American that you want around, guys.
If I followed a Martin County cop, they would pull me over.
What if you just followed a Martin County citizen?
Right.
Let's just say that like somebody's walking down the road. So there's a guy, he's walking down the road. He's minding his own business. He's wearing his sandals. He's talking on his phone, and you just start following him.
Yeah.
And you follow him to the bagel shop, and then you follow him to the gas station, and he's walking, and you just keep following. Next thing you know, you're following him. He can call the police and say there's a weirdo following me for no reason whatsoever. Like that is his legal right to do. And these people are doing that to federal agents, man.
Yeah. Law enforcement.
We stayed far, like whenever I was young, we stayed far away from law enforcement. We did not want interactions with them.
Yeah. So this is ICE raid rolls. Record the raid as long as it's safe to do so. Narrate what you're seeing. Don't focus video on person or people they are detaining. Do not live stream. Yeah, because then we can find out that they're a freaking criminal, probably, right? Try to shout out vital know your rights info. If somebody's being actively detained, ask for their name, date, and birth, and emergency contact. Don't engage with ICE agents or interfere. Take note of take note of everything that is happening. Help direct people to engage safely. Keep dispatcher updated. Don't interfere in any way. Like help somebody that got maced, right? ICE encounter. What do you do if he approaches you in person? Record. You have the right to observe as long as you are not interfering with the ICE enforcement activity. As long as you're not interfering, Shady. Wow.
Yeah, and I'd also recommend you not pick up their flashbang grenades.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, the one lady picked it up. Did you see that video this morning? Yeah. This lady, she picked it up.
I love those
things. They explode. You're picking it up. It's a mini grenade. So I would recommend that you don't pick up munitions that are used for crowd dispersal.
Yeah, and then look at these people up here. These are not Republicans. These are disgusting people, Shady.
They are disgusting. More than likely, she was thinking that she was going to throw it back at them.
Yeah. Whatever.
It's a mentality. It's an this is not the healthy anti-law enforcement American mentality that has, the struggle back and forth. Like, can I get away with it? That's not what's going on here.
They're telling you, don't be too close. Say following distance, right? Regular rules of the road, right? Alert when Border Patrol, National Guard, ICE, FBI, DEA, U.S. Marshal, ATF, HSI. Remember, you're out in the community. Remember these uniforms, so they can identify ICE even without the masks, Shady? Wow.
What they say.
Wow.
But that's the reason that a lot of these people are getting targeted that are not ICE. The other night, they were targeting just normal people that were driving around. Again, targeting reporters. Any person that is protesting, if it is really a protest and there is a reporter, the person that's truly protesting would want to speak to the reporter. You want to talk to the reporter. I don't know how many times I say this, and I'm noticing that none of the Alex Jones crew explain this to anyone and try to let people in on the idea of exactly what a protest is and what a protest isn't. People that don't want to talk to the press are not involved in a protest. They're involved in gang stalking. They're involved in, attempted kidnapping. I mean, we don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yep. So Minnesota State Rep Brad Tabke is personally sending out the invites for that anti-ICE watch group to on Sign Up Genius to coordinate the doxing and harassment of ICE agents. This is him right here, Shady Roof. Look at join Zoom meeting. This is it. This is a freaking. This is getting out of hand, Shady.
But look at what the TV's able to do to people, dude. I mean, this is the TV. This is television. People that aren't watching television or aren't watching the mainstream media are not doing any of this.
Yeah.
None of them. People that aren't watching Mika and that dude, whatever that dude name is, Mad Owl, whatever it is over there. Like people that aren't watching that are definitely not getting shot by ICE.
Listen to this middle-aged swim mom purchasing a bulletproof vest. Check it out.
All this.
I just searched for a bulletproof fucking vest. I spent a year wearing one in Baghdad. And here I am 20 fucking years later searching for one because my government wants to fucking kill me.
No. You're trying to Thank you.
Especially
Thank
those
you.
that keep
What you're trying to do
supporting
is you're trying to get a viral TikTok video, you idiot.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's not just fuck ICE.
Take
It's
a
also
lap.
fuck Border Patrol and fuck federal agents.
I like the sea lion.
And also, I guess if anybody has suggestions, I'm starting to make a list of things that I need to purchase to prepare for what is inevitable. Yeah. Let me know what's on your list.
All right. How about this? All right. This is a Karen, right? This is a liberal vet buying a bulletproof vest to protect herself while blocking ICE from deporting rapists, pedophiles, and gang members. But she survived Baghdad, but your brain didn't survive MSDNC, guys. Play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, Shady.
I'm so sorry, man. It's like that noise. That noise is actually it really is the Karen noise. That's exactly what they are, man. They're just like I go down to the coast whenever I go down to Crescent City. Those things are like laying out there on the pylons out in the water. You know, they're just like making that racket. And I think of nothing but a triggered Karen that's like walking by.
It's
amazing.
Wow, we made it through another one, guys.
We did. It's
Wow. 2
for Tuesday. We only got but much love to each and every one of you guys. I'd like to encourage you to support citizen patriot journalism. We're running a little bit behind our normal schedule here for January. We're running a lot behind because of December. We took some time off, so we're going to be eating light in January. Hopefully, things will be
eating. You can eat?
Well, yeah, I can eat. Yeah, you have to feed other people.
Let me do this real quick because we're very snarky here on the MG show, Shady.
Snarky.
So some people journal, other people buy snark magnets, these bold, sarcastic magnets with quotes like, quote, "Witness the void where I once cared," or "Your approval is not required." And then, "I drink coffee for your safety." I love that one. You ever get tired of explaining yourself to people who don't listen anyway? Snark magnets is exactly the way to let them know what you're thinking without starting an argument. Fridge, locker, cubicle. It's your space. It's fair game. Made in USA by a small creator who understands the assignment. Reclaim your space. Use code RUMBLE10 for 10% off your entire order at thingsofholding.com. Thingsofholding.com.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice.
Snark magnets.
Snark
All right. So Signalgate is in full effect. They're busted. It looks like Alex Petty, breaking news here on the MG show today, was part of the Signal operation and possibly had other interactions before the fatal day. Sadly, that he was unalived, Shady. I mean, we're not happy about it, but we're not happy about people also not realizing that you shouldn't harass legal law enforcement activities. I mean, pretty simple, right?
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people were in that chat using it similar to Telegram so that they can be holding a call live and people can like pipe in and give reports and stuff like that against federal law enforcement. I just want to make that clear. They are operating against federal law enforcement at the behest of a major political party to try to weaken the current administration going into the midterms in tandem with the people on our side, like InfoWars and the Black General Black Pill, not the Black General.
And the Democrats are going full socialist Democrat, aka communist, and they are afraid to stand up for them and to them, Shady.
That is true.
All right. And Somalia fraud, Minnesota, Tim Walz. Why was he the VP pick? Why? Because they're protecting the fraud. We got them backed into the corner, guys. And what do animals do when they're backed in the corner? Yikes.
Don't be like Somalians.
Yeah. Don't be like Somalians.
Somalians.
All right, Minnesotans.
Minnesotan Somalis.
Oh, I'm so tired of Minnesotans. God.
It is a bit.
It is.
I'm not going to say it.
I love Minnesota. And people in Minnesota, take your freaking state back, please. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Wrestle it away from this.
Sorry. Did you want to say something more? I'm sorry.
Oh, I just said go ahead and wrestle it away from these creeps.
Yeah, get it. Get it. Here we
Much
go.
love.
Much love, guys.
Up in the frozen north, where the liberals play, Tim Walz and his crew let the billions slip away. Somali fraud cash flowing out the door. While ICE comes knocking, they scream no more. Encrypted chats light up the night. Flying Southside, calling shots in the fight. Peggy Flanagan's admin running the show. Tracking agents' moves so the criminals go. Signal gate, shadows in the code. Coordinating chaos on the taxpayer road. Insurrection encrypted state house deep inside. Blocking Trump's deportations. Trying to hide from Minneapolis streets to Cuba contacts. Calling real signal gate. Dropping the deep state. Falling America first. No more games, no more lies. Drain the swamp up north before the public dies. Journalist infiltrates. Cam Higby goes in. Thousands on the network coordinating sin. University cash 6 to 8 million fed. Turned into war rooms where the radicals tread. Foreign donors wired, chuffed in the mix. Canada to Cuba pulling dirty tricks. Stand with Minnesota, more like stand with the fraud. While patriots bleed and the rule of law's flawed. Signal gate, whispers turn to roars. Any gov exposed, can't hide anymore. Walls machine cranking, protest mobs on payroll. Struck federal justice, selling out the soul. From the chats to the streets, tear gas in the air. Real insurrection, do they even care? America first, lock them up, make them pay. Minnesota's wake up, no more decay. In the threads, plans and docs gotta flee. Contacts in Havana dreaming of amnesty, but the handbooks leak the donor's name to shame. Thousands on the list playing treason's game. No more sanctuary for the criminals they shield. Trump's agents coming, justice won't yield. Signal gate, the veil is torn apart. State house traitors caught with blood on their heart. Peggy Flan admin, Walz's loyal crew. Sedition in the signal, what you gonna do? America first forever, borders locked tight. No more blue state betrayal in the dead of night. Signal gate exposed, the reckoning's here. MAGA rising strong, patriots cheer.
www.mg.show. Boom.